Hello, hi, it's Philip Mark here. I decided I'm going to make a video on this one because I've been trying to type it up and there's some conflict between Facebook and Internet Explorer and my computer and stuff, so I decided I'm going to do a video response to this question. It's on, I want to say, my piece about the idea of students putting their marks on the Facebook page, on the support group, and I'm talking specifically for AA306 right now. I might put this video also onto some of the other Facebook pages that for courses I'm doing. I want to say that I think it's be a good thing for the group, for all the users as a whole, to be able to say whether they want to put their marks, give their scores or not. And yes, I do think we should adhere to it, but I think it's for the group to decide. And I've got a couple of reasons for this. If people are if people take an offence because they've got lower marks than some other people who are on the course, firstly, the OU, if the motivation is the fact that they're in the same tutor group and they feel they've been undervalued, their work has been undervalued by the tutor, there is a procedure within the OU to actually have that dealt with. Okay, there is a procedure in there to have your marks looked at again if you feel that you've been marked down by your tutor. Also, I think that if a person is rather embittered that they haven't got, come and give me a hug and a kiss. Now, are you on TV? Are you on TV?
Yeah.
Are you famous superstar? No, you're not. So get off the screen. Okay. Now, okay. If students out there are that embittered because another member of the tutor group or anyone else has got a much higher course mark than they have, okay, for what they feel the same work, to be honest, having a separate page is going to make things even worse for them. Okay, that's my personal opinion. They're going to think, oh, I can't really be doing this because I haven't achieved a mark high enough to get on here. I got a pass 2 for my second TMA, and all those people on there have got pass 1s, have got distinctions and stuff, and I'm upset about that. Oh, yeah, having a separate page is not going to be conducive, really. It's just, I think it's just going to make this thing more isolatory. And I think those people are not understanding. I think you're going to satisfy those people. They're not going to understand the situations that people are facing. Now, so I'm really split on this, and I would like, although I would appeal to anyone who, if the group decide that they're not going to have marks on the page, that maybe maybe we should just say we've passed or failed, or maybe we shouldn't say anything at all. But when I was doing U214, U214 Worlds of English, I actually got my first fail mark. After 2 years of study, I got my first fail mark. Okay, I got 38% for TMA, which I admit I went off in a tangent and doing the TMA and didn't achieve the criteria, and I admit that, I acknowledge that. and it came at the worst time it could possibly go, but a very low point for me in my OU studies, because I had just completed my first exam. It was a very important exam because it was going to decide the results that would give me a certificate of higher education, and I was going to wait for another 2 or 3 months to get those results through, and it was right after this I got my first fail mark, and I was like, shit. I was really low down and depressed, but people were giving their results. People were going to say, hey, I got 70%, I got 80%, I got a 90% mark. Yeah, one person actually got nearly 90%, if I recall. And I thought, you know, but there wasn't that many people who were coming up with anything lower than that. It was all 70% marks plus. And I thought, well, if we're supposed to be a support group, if we're supposed to perform to supporting each other and helping us through here, and we're supposed to have a measure of honesty and integrity in what we do, I got a really, what I considered, crap mark, because I got my first. I was 2 points out from my bare pass, and I got a bare fail. And I put it on there, and several things happened because of this. One, I had a lot of these high scores. They came on and they weren't laughing at me. They came on with a lot of consoled me. You know, bad luck, Phil. Where do you think you went wrong? Anything I can do to help? Any advice I can share from my experiences that might be helpful to you? You know, just can't promise it, but just ask, and I'll do my best. So I get a lot of people who were getting the high marks coming on saying, you know, can we help? Is there anything we can do regarding your presentations, etc., that we can do to help? So that was one thing. The group rallied round me and encouraged me. The second thing was, I had an awful lot more people coming online who were doing this course, who were consistently being on the borderline between bare fail and bare pass, who were on the borderlines of pass threes and pass twos, and pass threes and pass fours, knowing they could, or feeling that they could be doing better and weren't, and were depressed with their grades because of it, and people who were also doing a lot worse than me consistently, and all of them, because they weren't achieving what they felt they should be getting, whether they were getting pass threes, pass fours, pass twos, or fails, people who were actually thinking they should give up and rip up the coursework and find something else, or stop studying altogether, because they felt they were underachieving either way, and they'd reached the ceiling, and they felt really terrible about their marks, and they didn't appreciate what they had achieved, even though many of these people had, like we all have, issues going on in our daily lives, being the sole wage earner, being single parents, being you know, having lost their jobs through recession, whatever it might have been, just having the pressures of day-to-day life, trying to fit their studies in. They're all struggling to achieve what they wanted to achieve from this, and we're feeling terrible. And I'm not saying just that, you know, sometimes when there's people going through hardship and doing worse than you, it cheers you up. I mean, yes, it does actually. Perhaps it does cheer you up when they're struggling, but when you feel that you are at the bottom of the heap and you are failing, everyone else is doing better than you, and you suddenly find out that you're doing as well as other people who come across as more active, more knowledgeable, smarter and cleverer, academically more superior, it's a big encouragement to you and also to them, because they're in the same boat. They're thinking negative things like you are. So it's important, okay? And then we started getting people, if they were getting past 4s, they would come out saying, you know, I've worked really hard on this one, and I've got my first pass 4 in this module, and I'm really pleased to have finally, you know, second, third TMA in, and they want to know, or perhaps they have got a lower mark than what I normally get, or they've been in the same situation as me, they've got to fail, and they thought, oh my god, have I thumped the course? You know, I was able to say, you know, actually, I was actually come out and do the things which encouraged me to say that, you know, because I found out if you get one reasonable score for a TMA, and everything else is a bare fail, as long as you get a pass in your exam, you know, you can still get a pass 4. And even if you were to on a TMA only get 20% on a single TMA because it was a pig, and yeah, you know, E301, which I'm doing now, we got some TMAs there which are real pigs to do, and some people are leaving even at this stage. You know, we're on TMA 5 now. Some people are leaving. Some people are leaving because they are in situations where they are studying other courses as well, and they're thinking, no, I'm struggling so much on this one, and I'm doing it at the expense of courses which are what one guy's doing his masters now as well, and he just wants to bump up his standard degree, because he had the idea that he would bump up his BA to an honours or something like that, I think it was, and he's doing his masters at the same time, and he thought, well, it would all work out better for me, but he's found out with the work he's got to do on his masters and stuff that trying to do his this course is too much for him, and he's made a calculation to say that better to stop now. That's I've got to say personally, that's justifiable. That is justifiable. But what is disgraceful is when there are people out there who are not achieving what they hoped, when the reality is perhaps they are, perhaps they're achieving something, and they're going into depression because they're not achieving what they hoped they would get, when in the reality is they probably are doing at least something to boost their situation, that when the whole course is completed, they might at least come away with a bare pass, with a pass 4, and they're getting depressed because they're not getting a pass 3. You know, they're the ones. That is a disgrace when someone feels they should leave because they're not achieving as much as others, and the reality is that everyone else is suffering as well, and yet no one's got the courage to stand up and say, this TMA 5 was a pain in the arse, and I've flunked it and I got to fail, or I was really hoping for pass 3 but I got 54%, just missed it, and there they are looking at they've got 54% as well, and they're thinking, I failed. That is a shame. That is inexcusable of us And all I can say is, that I'm not consistently getting high scores. I'm consistent in my scoring, pretty much. Okay, my last TMA for E301 was a pass 4. Okay, it's my lowest score in 6 TMAs. My lowest pass in 6 TMAs. Everything has been higher. I'm saying how much higher because it upsets some people apparently. But I've got to say, but a pass is a pass, and that's what I've been telling other people. And why should I be up there saying, "Oh, a pass is a pass, a pass," and then not be prepared to say so for myself? And I was up all night for that, and it was a pig of a TMA to do. And I certainly would come out, and if anyone wants to laugh at me because I've only got a pass 4, then, well, I would simply have to leave it to Shakespeare, who could say it a lot better than me. If you are upset and you want to take the mickey out of me because you got a score higher than mine, ha ha ha, I say you are a puking, weather-bitten nuthook, and you need to get your head out your ass. And if you are finding yourself struggling, I'm not saying struggling as in a hole struggling, as in you are consistently failing, whether you're consistently failing all your TMAs or whatever it might be. But if you know you can do better, or you feel you can do better, and you're still finding the course is quite difficult to do, I would say keep it up, because not making any judgments on some of the people in E301, because it is a hard course to do. And I'm feeling embarrassed going on there at times because I'm actually enjoying it, and sometimes when I'm hearing all the people moaning, I'm feeling embarrassed to turn around and say, actually, I do enjoy the course, even though I haven't got the faintest idea what's being said, what it's on about. I am getting some enjoyment out of it, which I think makes it worthwhile. But it is important for me to do it for my current degree and stuff, so I'm having to go and I'm enjoying it. But if you are struggling, there are people quitting for less reasons, and I know for some people that is the best thing that they can be doing. And but there are people out there who don't need to quit, and it could well be you're one of them. And there is support from the OU, there is support from your tutors, there's support from other tutors as well, if your tutor really is one of those nasty ones you occasionally hear about. But also there should be support from your fellow students, and that includes on Facebook. I know there's some people out there who are rather unpleasant characters, who are probably shouldn't be doing languages, they should be doing banking or insurance or politics or something like that, because they're unpleasant characters. They'll go far, they'll go a long way, and we'll read about them in a few years' time in their divorce scandals and all that sort of thing, and affairs and that. But all I can say is that we all go through this, and I certainly am not offended when the vast majority of people who put their scores on Facebook have scored higher than me. Some of them have gone through a lot harder things than I have, so I congratulate them heartily. And I just think if people want to put their scores on, they should feel to do so. But I would encourage also my fellow students, if you're not doing quite as well as you feel you should be, or as well as others are, it's great to also put on your scores as well. So and I shall be putting my past 3 scores and my past 4 scores on Facebook if I'm allowed to. But if the group wants to turn around and say that not, then that's great, fantastic. I just want to give some encouragement because I'm coming from the fact that I'm not doing as well as some people are, and but I still like to feel that I am free to put up my mark, because there's more people out there who are going to benefit from me coming up with my past 4 marks and my past 3 marks and even my fail marks than those who are too snobbish or too spiteful to be offended by me doing so. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So AA306 group members and administrators, group administrators, please bear that in mind. Thanks for listening, and as a group, guys, let us know. I don't want to put my next mark, which I'm hoping for at least 60% on, but it's probably going to be 20. I'm hoping that if I am allowed to do so, that I do have the choice to or not. Okay, thanks so much.